Good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Thursday, November 16th, 2023. I, of course, with Originator Success here, the Daily Rate Lock Conversation, the only place on the web where you guys get to be a part of the conversation. Appreciate you joining me. Remember, you can join me live each and every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, as I do these videos for you. If you're watching on the replay, do me a favor. Just put a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, hit a thumbs up on Facebook, tag your LO friends, share this post in a group. All that good stuff. Help us on the social channels. We appreciate it. Remember, you can go ahead and sign up for our written email lock advice, www.ratelockadvice.com. Again, that's www.ratelockadvice.com. Sign up for our emails to your inbox each and every day. You can also get our text alerts at www.ratetextalerts.com. They're $7 a month. We get rave reviews on our text alerts. Last but not least, check us out at originatorssuccess.com. A lot of people don't realize we have our Brand Elite program where we help you to get found on Google and get loans from social media. We've got our Ignite Mastermind group. We've got a lot of great tools. So go check us out at originatorssuccess.com. We'll show you all about that. With that part said, let's get to the other good stuff. Let's say hi to the live folks who we got here this morning. We got Scott Mincer here. What's up, my man? Ron Siegel, good morning. Kenny Rivard, all familiar faces. Great to see all of you guys. Thank you for joining me each day. Mallory Fotiadis, also for you and Rob Stewart, Mike Tebow, Monica Dinkins. Great to see all of you. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. Hope you're excited about rates getting better the way they are. What's up, playa? I see Facebook user. I don't get to see whose name it is, but I know who said, what's up, playa? That's my man, James Taverner. We got Tim Kyla here this morning in the house. What's going on? Great to see you guys as well. And all right, so let's get to the good stuff. Let me go ahead and pull up the captions. Today, rate sheet should be better than yesterday. If we go ahead and take a look at what's going on here with Happy Mortgage Bonds, mortgage bonds up about 20 basis points to start the day. They lost about 23 basis points yesterday. You could see that puts us right about at the same level on the technicals here. We're basically testing the same levels we tested here. I want to zoom in on this. I want you guys to look at this closely. Take a look here. When we look at these candlesticks, the reason they call them candlesticks is because they have the top end, the thin line, which is the wick. Sometimes they have that thin bottom line, which is called the tail. And once again, the way these candlesticks work, it starts out either at the top or bottom of the body. If it's a red candlestick, we started the day at the top of the body, the fat part, and it ended the day lower at the bottom part. And that's getting worse on the day, which is worse for pricing. Red is bad for rates and pricing. Going down on mortgage bonds here is bad for rates and pricing. Moving up in direction like this green one did, we started lower, moved up on the day, and boom, ended the day significantly higher. That improves rates and pricing. Now, yesterday, we had given back some of the gains from the day before. Remember, this was a huge gain. We started from 98.64, ended the day at 99.53. We were up about 80 basis points on the day. That's, actually closer to 90 basis points on the day. And yesterday, we lost a little bit of ground. Now, see this green line? This is the 100-day moving average. And what we look at on different levels, this is what we call a technical level. And we monitor because it's a moving average. We want to see if these mortgage bonds break above that and stay above that. Then it's acting as a support level. It's stopping us from going lower. If it is stopping us from moving higher and we bounce off of it and drop backwards, then it is a resistance level. Now, based on what we saw yesterday, it was acting as resistance. Yesterday, the 100-day moving average was 99.37, and mortgage bonds ended the day at 99.33, just barely below this 100-day moving average. But right on that. Today, we started the day above it. We're going to look and see if we get any kind of reversal that pulls us back down here. This is almost like a magnet. So if we see that reversal, that means that reprice risk today is moderate, because we could see that bonds are going to move around a bit. There's no real strong economic data. We did get some jobs data this morning. The jobless claims came in, again, showing they rose to the highest in almost 2 years. And recurring applications rise for the 8th week to 1.87, or continuing applications is what those are. So what this is doing is it's starting to show some cracks in the labor market, and that's going to help rates and pricing as well. As far as yesterday, let's take a look at that together. You can see that here. Don't worry, I'm putting it on here. All right, here you go. So looking yesterday, things were flat, as you can tell. right here. We had some initial movement in the morning, and then things were very quiet on the day. Today, some gains, and then likely to see something similar. Now, we want to be somewhat careful because as far as the outlook goes, rates could bounce around a little bit. They're going to move up and down within an eighth, but they're not going to move much before Thanksgiving. Uh, After Thanksgiving, though, then we're going to start to see everything move around again. We'll see the JOLTS data, we'll see the ADP report, we'll see non-farm payroll, wages, unemployment data. Then on December, what do you say it was? I think it was the 12th, December 12th, we're going to get the next CPI inflation report. So, and on the 13th, we have the Fed meeting. So December, we could see rates move lower in December. How much lower? Maybe back to where we were in June, right? So I don't remember necessarily where we were in June, but if we look at bonds for 6 months, we could take a look and see. Forgive me, y'all. I'm going to sneeze here. Sorry about that. So anyway, looking back here, you can see that back in June, bonds were significantly higher. We're around 101.34 for that 6.0 coupon. We would have been looking even at the 5.5 at that point. So take a look here at the 5.5. Again, that's also going to be in that same thing, right? So taking a look here, we could improve back up to these June, July levels where rates were in the high sixes, low sevens. That would be a great spot. So, Ron said Japanese harami pattern. Ron, I'm not going to lie. If you want all those fancy names, you got to ask Barry because I don't follow the technicals quite that tightly. I kind of have more of an overall holistic view when it comes to rates and pricing and market sentiment. And I think that the fundamentals have as much or more effect than the technicals. I think the technicals are good for more immediate, like what's going on in the next day or two or three, or for sensing trends, of course. But I don't think that traders are making their decisions based on the technicals that way. So anyway, as far as some other stuff here, I have not necessarily had some time to look through all the news this morning. Doesn't look like there's anything big. The government shutdown was averted. That was, of course, something that, that was possibly going to come into play. I haven't really mentioned it because I didn't think it was going to come into play. It's really been kind of a non-issue here as far as that goes. So they did push and get something signed that pushes us down to, I think it goes all the way to February at this point. Some of it's January or some of it's February. Treasury yields slightly lower, the dollar stronger, while stock futures are marginally down, tracking declines across most European indexes in Asia earlier. That follows volatility across assets in recent days in the wake of inflation and retail sales data, along with fluctuating bets on whether interest rates have peaked. So right now, we got some Fed officials speaking, John Williams, Loretta Mester. I think Loretta Mester, she's up. This is the end of her term. You can only be on the Fed for so long, and I think she's actually at the end of her term and can't be re-brought. Oh, let's see if we can refresh this and get this to wake up. There we go. So CME Group looking at the Fed watch. Again, basically 99.7. So 0% expectation that we're going to see a rate hike in December. Looks like May, still the overwhelming favorite for when we see that first hike. And a lot of expectation that there's only 12% that believe that we'll see rates where they're at now by June. And market's pricing in one or two rate cuts since then. And what's funny, I probably should pull this article up, like Morgan Stanley, UBS, there's a bunch of banks that they're saying that they think that we're going to have to see the Fed's going to have to cut rates like 300 basis points next year. I don't think it's even remotely going to happen. I'm more in Goldman Sachs camp that calls for maybe half that. We could see a point and a half. I think Goldman Sachs calls for 1.75. Depends on if we hit a full-blown recession. If the labor market does soften, if inflation continues to drop down like we've seen, and if the economy is slowing down, then the Fed will start to cut rates and we'll see things. I think, in 2024 could be better than anticipated, but right now you got to batten down the hatches and be ready for it. It's going to be a rough year. And remember too, what makes it harder is not just what rates are doing, but it's consumer behavior. As rates go down, consumers are going to fence sit, right? Because when they see rates start to go down, what are they going to say? they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to wait. Rates are moving down. I'm going to wait for rates to move even lower. And it's going to be hard to get them to act. We have to look at what's going on with home prices. If home prices are going up, we're going to have that conversation that as rates go down, home prices are likely to rise. That's why they want to get in and refinance later. I think 2025 is going to be a great year and for mortgage people, but you got to survive till 25. I think the Mortgage Bankers Association said something like that at one of their meetings, and I don't know who necessarily coined it. I think I've heard it quite a few places at this point, but survive till 25 is a good way to put it. But there are people that are doing well in 24. I want you to do well in 24. So hopefully I can be a part of that. And hopefully this stuff helps you each and every day. So for today, again, I'll throw it back up there. My lock advice is to continue to float. I think we're in a good spot. I think rates have crested. I thought that a few weeks ago, we hit that false peak. I was not happy about that. Then we pushed up to 8% and then we fell back. So I think that was the last dying gasp of rates and rate increases. I think we're in a good spot right now. I think we're going to see rates that stay very comparable. Anything closing near term, it gets a little rocky around the holiday. You're going to see money go into bonds generally heading into the holiday just because they park it for volatility. So, but rate sheets generally don't always reflect that bond improvement because lenders don't necessarily want to take a lot of risk and exposure over the holiday either. So it gets a little dicier as far as pricing goes over the next week. And if you've got loans closing, nothing, it's hard. Not much happens next week during the holiday. So it kind of slows things down and you may have to lock a little further out. So if you are floating, don't forget about that. Survive to 25 was your motto many years ago. Yeah, Robert. I think some of us men had that motto for sure. So, all right, my friends, that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Make it a fantastic one. Bye-bye.